Blog Talk Radio.
Everyone, stop. The show's about to start. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of No Conduct Radio. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. And I also want to give a welcome to Char. She's back.
Yeah, Char. On vacation.
Oh, my God. I didn't think we would ever see you again.
Well, technically, you guys can't see me. We don't have that technology yet. But, loving the sound effects. Hello, listeners. Hello, fellow hosts, the No Conduct family. And I absolutely do miss you guys. We have lots to talk about over the next few months. But I'm so glad to be back. It's just been too long. I hope everyone's doing great. But thank you so much for the welcome back. I loved it. It was very authentic, by the way.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back. What was that song? Welcome back. I don't know.
Was that Logic? Was that a Logic? Welcome back. Welcome back. If you're any more excited, I'd have to calm you down, Logic.
I was just actually thinking that it's good that you're back from your vacation with Daddy Warbucks.
My vacation with Daddy Warbucks. No. I haven't seen him in months and months. The last time you guys talked to me, we had broke up months before that. But, me and money, yeah, we do go hand in hand. That hasn't changed.
Wow. Wow, man. Yeah.
That's so funny, Logic. I was about to say wow, too. So how's everyone doing?
Good.
Great.
How's your week been? What's been going on?
Spring out here in Vegas. The weather's beautiful, everyone.
The weather's beautiful here, too.
Your springtime, the weather is the temperature is 105 in spring?
Right.
Yes, with a cold of 90 at night.
Good Lord. Oh, my God. Yeah, you stay there with that. I'm going to stay over here in Philly. Yeah. We're just now getting into the 70s, so I'm good right here.
Yeah.
So, I know, right? So, anyway, today we're taking relationship questions. So, you out there, listeners, if you actually have any questions, you could call in at 607-203-5378. That's 607-203-5378. You can press option 1 to speak if you want to bring your question on air. If you're kind of shy about bringing your question on air, you can also text it to us at 484-840-3627. Again, that text number is 484-840-3627. We'll read your question on air as well as answer it. I can't guarantee you'll like our answer because this is No Conduct Radio after all. So, I have I put out that we have this show going on, and so far I have a ton of questions. So we're gonna get to the questions. We gotta keep the answers short and sweet, though. We can't make it a debate tonight because I'm telling you, we got a ton of questions.
No debate.
It's not up for debate, but we're going as usual. Luckily, it's not just me as a female tonight. We have 2 females, 2 guys, so you'll get both points of view tonight. So that's a good thing about tuning into No Conduct Radio. So did y'all want to just dive into the questions or what?
Let's dive. With no life jacket at all, let's dive into it.
Yeah, let's start with the pleasantries and get into this BS.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Pleasantries. Is that how you feel about your women, Logic? You just get right down to business?
I think largely they're just full of crap. But, let's get into it. Let's find out.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Yeah, right.
Everyone knows Logic is single. I don't believe he has anybody.
Wow.
Right. So our first question is...
No, you guys, listen. When we first started, Logic was in a relationship because that's what your Facebook page said. Remember, Logic?
Yeah, where'd you get I'm single? Where'd you get that?
Oh, I'm taking that based on how you answer questions dealing with women.
Oh, you know what? That's such a shocker. A woman assuming she knows something without knowing anything. Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
I don't know what just happened.
Hold on, Logic. You just reminded me of a story, and I have to tell this story because it actually goes in with our show. So, I love watching these judge shows. So it was like Judge Christina Perez or whatever. This happened a couple days ago, and I wish I had recorded this show because the girl's face was priceless. Like if I was an actor, I would have studied her just to get that shocked expression. Okay.
It must have been the rare look on her face when she realized she was wrong.
Shut up, Logic, and just listen to what happened. Anyway, this is what happened. So she's an ex-girlfriend now. She broke up with her boyfriend because her friend told her that she saw her boyfriend in a bar with another girl. So her boyfriend apparently had some dreads that he was growing since he was 5 because I guess his family practices Rastafarianism. And so she cut his hair. She while he was sleeping, she cut his hair. So the next question the judge has for the guy is, how couldn't you wake up if somebody's cutting your hair? He was like, I don't know. I didn't wake up. He said, maybe I was just really, really tired. But I didn't wake up when she was cutting my hair. So the judge, being the judge, and I guess she's heard it all, turned to the girl, and she was like, why didn't he wake up? And the girl was like, I don't know. Then the judge says, did you drug him? And it took her like 5 seconds, and the girl was like, yeah, I actually gave him sleeping pills. And the judge was like, did you read the instructions or anything? She was like, no. She said, how many sleeping pills did you give him? 1, 2, 3? She said, I gave him 3. And the judge turned to the guy. She's like, have you ever taken sleeping pills before? He said, no, I've never taken it, never needed it. So the judge was like, wow, so you drugged him. She said, well, yeah, he shouldn't have cheated on me. So she drugged him. She drugged him and cut his hair. And then the judge was like, well, I'm taking it that you were very upset when you woke up. He said, oh, my gosh, you have no idea. He said, I could have done anything. I was so mad. He said, well, what did you say? She said, well, what did you say to her? And he was like, I didn't say anything. She left me a note, and she was gone. She was like, oh, can I see the note? The note, he handed the judge a note. He was like, she didn't even have the decency to write me a paragraph. She just wrote a sentence. We're done. Bye. So,
wow.
So, her friend is on the side of her, like, arguing with a dude like it's her friend, not even the ex-girlfriend. It's the friend arguing, well, you shouldn't have cheated on him. You shouldn't have cheated on her. Next time, don't be a cheater. That's what you get for being a cheater. And they're all sitting there smug, laughing at him and everything like that. And the judge is like, why are you laughing? Why is this funny? She's like, it's not funny, but that's what he gets. So anyway, they brought in a witness, the guy's witness. So in walks this girl, and the judge asked the ex-girlfriend, do you recognize this girl? She was like, yeah, that's his cousin. But see, she was facing this, like she looked to her right to see the cousin, then she looked back straight to see the judge. Her friend was on her left-hand side. So when the girl said, yeah, that's her cousin, like matter of factly, that's his cousin. You should have seen the friend's face like, oh, snap. And she just put her head, like she didn't have, her face, she just had an O with her mouth. Her eyes got wide, and she put her hands to the side of her face, and then on top of her head, like, oh, my God. So then the judge, so the girl, the ex-girlfriend, isn't seeing any of this. But you, as your viewers, you're seeing this girl's face. So then the judge asked the friend, do you recognize this woman? And she said, yeah, that's the girl I saw him at the bar with. And then you could tell, it took like a second for the ex-girlfriend to process that.
Wow.
Then she slowly turned to her friend like, what the? And so they both just had that stupid look on their face like, oh, my God. Yeah. And so the judge was like, is this who? She was like, who are you? She answered, I'm his cousin or whatever. she's like, well, why are you down here? She said, well, my husband had just recently cheated on me, and so I decided I needed to get away, and I came to this town to, chill with my cousin and get clarification as to why somebody would cheat on me. So the ex-girlfriend is just sitting there like, oh, my God, oh, my God, oh, my God. Like, that's what they're sitting there. And the friend is like, I can't. Like, it was just the most priceless thing ever, like, ever. So the judge was like, so the girl was like, you didn't tell me your cousin was in town. And when I said you cheated on me, you didn't say anything. So the judge was like, well, how was he going to say anything? If you say you're cheating on me, my first thought is not going to go to my cousin. I'm helping my cousin through, like, a terrible time she's having. You know what I'm saying? So then the judge asked the guy, so why are you suing for $3,000? He said, well, I just think there needs to be repercussions for her actions because this can't just – she can't just get away with this. Like, I didn't do anything. Oh, and side note, he was a really good guy. He always, he always was there for her. He, whenever she needed something to eat, he never cheated on her. He was a good guy, job, everything. Good-looking guy, tall, everything. So anyway, so he told the girl, he told the judge, like, point blank, I'm suing her because she shouldn't be able to get away with this. The judge agreed and said, I grant you your lawsuit for $3,000. And he was like, she told the girl, I hope you learned your lesson. At the end, when they're usually speaking with each other, he was like, that's what you get for assuming. Maybe you should learn now not to assume. And she was like, well, I hope that you can forgive me. Oh, my God. You drugged him. Wow. You chopped off his hair and sleep. You want him to forgive you?
See? You mean how forgiving she was with the idea that he was out somewhere else?
And based on what her friend said.
Yeah,
and
because
it only took one time because he's such a good guy. This wouldn't have happened before.
See, and then she went off her first emotions. See, there you go.
Dude, but the reason why this show was so epic to me was the friend's expression. The friend's expression was like, oh, my God. Yeah. And I wish I had recorded it. Mm-hmm. I wish I had recorded it. So, that was my story.
So more of the story is, don't let no broads in your house. Kick them out when you're done.
There you go. No sleepovers. You know what I'm saying? No sleepovers.
I don't know what else what I was expecting from Logic.
I'm trying to figure out where's that story leading to, because we do have.
What? Hello?
You're gone.
Where's that story leading to?
Yeah.
No, we do. Women, I get that, but I'm like,
Char. I can't understand you. Your phone is going out.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
You said
I
you
apologize.
wanted to know where the story was leading to because what?
Because there are dysfunctional women out there, and things happen in relationships, but I'm trying to figure out okay. Because I heard Logic say, well, the moral of the story is don't let a broad in your house. And I'm like,
well,
okay.
The real moral of the story, and I can't believe you're actually asking this question, but the real moral of the story is number one, don't assume. Number two, don't always listen to what your friends say, because more than likely that girl will have no man, and she's sitting there and your man. If you know your man, you trust your man, why are you listening to your girl? You know what I'm saying? You don't know if she wants misery loves company or whatever. So that's the moral of the story. Follow your heart, keep your business in your house, and don't assume.
Right. That sums it up. I agree.
You know, in some countries, it's actually illegal for you to cheat on your spouse. Like that's actually a crime.
Really? I did not know that.
In Middle Eastern countries, you will be beheaded, or you'll have a breast cut off, or something.
You're not going to be beheaded.
What are you talking about?
A breast cut off?
What? Yes, absolutely. Try cheating in Iraq. Try being a cheating wife in Iraq and see what happens.
That is not the law. If you're cheating on somebody, they just gonna cut your head off. Are you crazy?
I'm sorry. You'll be stoned. You'll be stoned at sunset and then beheaded. Excuse me. What was I thinking?
Listen, for all people, listen.
Seriously, they practice barbaric laws back from 1,000 years ago, and they still do practice these laws. I mean, you can have a breast cut off for being raped, for crying out loud. Imagine this, guys. Imagine you're an innocent woman, and your husband's brother was looking at you. Now you can have a breast cut off just because the husband's brother was looking at you in some type of way, and you didn't do anything.
Char, hold on. Wait, hold on. Char, listen to what you just said. Now, do you think it is logical for some dude that loves his wife and has a scumbag brother, that if he found out his brother was looking at his wife, that he's going to go take her down to the state office and get her titty chopped off? Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely. And if we're talking about some, not all, I didn't say all, Middle Eastern countries, particularly those that are war-torn and undeveloped.
What you and a lot of people mixed up is tribal law. Tribes that are deep in the mountains or deep in the jungle, whatever type of tribe you're talking about, they got a lot of different things that they do. Tribal law is very different from country law. That's the difference. So you can't just take rhetoric that you hear and then start spouting it off on this show, and then somebody else that's uninformed is going to tell a bunch of people. And then next thing you know, you're getting your head cut off for a cell phone dropping. You know what I mean? You can't.
Let me say this. I don't believe they're just tribal laws. I believe they are country laws that are a lot more common than you're aware.
Where are you getting your information from? Based on what?
Based on, I've read stories of women who have done their autobiography. No. Autobiographies of women who have gone, women who have traveled the world to speak out for other women that are being mistreated in their relationships and even just as women, and the type of violence and the type of degrading treatment that they're subject to as women is something as simple as rape, something as violent as rape. They're punished for rape. It's their fault in many cases. And God forbid your husband's brother looks at you in some unforeseen way and you did nothing to bring that on. It's your fault.
But
if you cheat on your mate, then the repercussions could be much worse from there. And there are many
Char,
stories.
The only thing, we're not discounting that you're saying this or these stories. But what Logic is saying is tribal. It's not the law of Iran, for instance. It's not the law of Saudi Arabia, but different tribes in the area do that. It's not the country's law. That's what he's saying. And because media just portrays these instances here and there, that's all they're saying.
Let me explain it this way. In the United States, for a long time, lynching somebody was something that we did, and that was something that the people agreed with. But that wasn't the law of the land, that lynching is how you deal with it. But that's what happened a lot, because there were pockets of this country at that time that were largely ungoverned. They didn't have enough people to make sure that everybody was on the same page. So if you were in this little pocket of Lynchburg, Virginia, that's what you did. You lynched people until the government was able to come in there and start regulating everything, and then all of that kind of calmed down or whatever. So you can't just look at these cases that, maybe some feminist or some, anti-rape advocate is saying, well, this happened, and that happened, and this happened over here, and this woman had acid thrown in her face. Yeah, there's a lot of scumbags in the world that does a lot of crazy things to people. But you can't take that and say, that's what this country is about.
Okay, let me just say this. Okay, there has been
What? Hello?
Char, you're gone again.
There has been. I've had some issues with my phone. I've had some issues with my phone. There is a large number of circumstances where women have come forward in many different areas of the Middle East, and I'm not talking about just tribal up in the mountains, and they have given these same examples of the torture and abuse that they have been subject to based on the fact that they committed adultery or were assumed to have committed adultery, or something as simple as a brother of a husband or uncle or whoever, another man even looking at them in an uncertain way. I'm not saying something based on my assumptions. I'm not saying something based on my opinion. I'm saying this based on many, many counts of these types of acts of violence from women themselves that have come forth and said, this is what's happened to me. And obviously it's a problem because there are also many, not many, but there are women who have gone around the world and tried to get help and have spoke out about it and said, look, this is a problem. That particular country, that entire region of the world has had many problems based on their barbaric laws. This is not some type of, me just assuming that this happened here or there. No, this is very real.
No one is saying that you're assuming anything. I don't think you're understanding what we're saying. We're not saying you're assuming anything. You live in Nevada, correct? You're in Nevada, right? Okay, so the state that's right near you is Utah. Out there, Mormons are pretty much running the show unofficially. So there's a lot of dudes running around out there with 5 and 6 and 7 wives. Some as young as 14. Is that what this country is about? Are we about polygamy and underage marriage? No. Answer the question. Are we about polygamy and underage marriage?
Hello?
Okay, well, okay. I'll go forward. We're not about polygamy and underage marriage. However, in those regions where they're isolated and they're doing their own thing, there's plenty of young girls that come out and say how they're forced into marriages that they don't like, how these things happen at the hands of older men or whatever, and it's a horrible thing. But for somebody in Canada to say, wow, they're bugging out there in the United States, that's what that whole country's about, that's a little unfair. You can't just...
I didn't say our country. I said in Middle Eastern countries. I didn't say the entire Middle East. I never said that. Well, I might have even said in some Middle Eastern countries, although I know it's much larger than that.
You said that region.
This is something that I've looked into and studied personally because I was actually writing a book at the time. If anyone wants to know, I'm a writer. And professionally, and what happened was, this is going back to like 10, 12 years ago, the situation has gotten much worse since then. If anyone would be interested, if any listeners are out there, anything that I ever say on No Conduct, I can post it. I can always back it up. So I will be more than...
in your research and writing this book, you didn't find out that Iran and Pakistan, which has some of the worst female relations known, and stories coming out of there, that they have more female heads of state than the United States. You never heard about that in your research?
Actually, yes, I did hear about that.
Okay, so why would you then say areas like that have a big problem with the way they treat women? It's isolated things. It's people in these regions who want to abuse their women, and there's no shortage of that in the entire world. There's a lot of men that abuse their women.
How do you know I wasn't talking about Kuwait or Afghanistan? You just said Iran. Didn't you just say Iran and Pakistan?
Right,
is that what you said?
If you were talking about Kuwait, again, the women have full citizenship. They have complete health care. They have complete exoneration from being, not exoneration, they have complete immunization from being caught in situations like that because of the way that they have their citizenship set up for Kuwaiti natives. Okay, if you're talking about Afghanistan, they're in the middle of a war and being invaded, so I don't know what stability that anybody would expect coming out of Afghanistan, a region like that. So tell me
one of the regions that I was speaking of was Pakistan, but there's several other examples. So again, I will post and back up my information for everyone to see. But Logic, thank you very much for your I don't know, for sharing your knowledge of what it is that you do know about this. But I'm just telling you guys, I'm not just blurting it out there like that. I mean, it's a sad thing, and it really does happen. And it doesn't happen randomly because there's crazy people in the world. It happens very specifically due to either religious laws or due to barbaric laws that have never been changed. Or unfortunately sometimes it's also due to lack of education is why some countries choose to do certain things that they do. But that's a whole other
I gotta tell you, I've never heard of a religion that says that you should just destroy your women any chance that you get.
Oh my gosh, Logic, do you realize how big the world is? How can you say that just because you haven't heard of something like that? I didn't say it was religious based, though. I didn't say that. I'm just giving you an example. There are many laws that are very barbaric in that particular region as well as others. Okay? that say it's okay to mistreat your women, to beat them, or to mistreat them.
Okay, so how is that different from what you just said? You didn't say. You just said religious laws that says it's okay to treat your women barbarically. I said I've never heard of a religion that says anything like that.
Ajay, if you haven't heard of something, it just means that you haven't been introduced to it within the time that you have been on earth, but it does not take away from fact or fiction. So that's just based on what you know. But it doesn't make it true or not true. So that's just based on what you know. That's not even an opinion. It's just, well, I've never heard of. That's okay. That's quite all right. We both do different types of research. But like I said, I will back up everything that I've ever said on this show. If anyone wants to challenge it or has a question about it,
you know what? I want you to send me where these religions say abuse your women and what country says it's okay to cut her titty off if somebody else in her family looks at her. I want to see that.
Absolutely. But as I said, it'll be available for all of our viewers anyway, but I can personally send that to you. But keep in mind, I never made this a religious issue. I said barbaric laws, in general barbaric laws, since ancient times that have never been changed.
Did you hear her say religion?
I heard religion.
No, I didn't say I didn't say religion. I said, but particularly I'm focused on the fact that these are just barbaric laws out there. And these particular
did you just hear her say that she didn't say religion?
Rewind.
I'm saying religion. Let me put it like this. I am saying, yes, I do believe there are religious laws that do say it's okay. They're not saying giving you a direct order, hurt your woman, be abusive to them. But it's not. It's okay to do so.
It's okay to abuse the woman.
Sometimes it is based on that. Yes.
It's okay to abuse the woman.
Other times it's based on tribal. Other times it's based on tribal laws, and other times it's just based on laws within the country or the nation that were never changed sometimes because of lack of education, sometimes ignorance. Sometimes that's what it is. And other times it's just, if a country is undeveloped, then they haven't been introduced to, proper understanding of how to treat any human being.
Yeah, because we're in the 21st century, and there's countries out there that just don't know how to treat women. So I really am looking forward to whatever country says when they were making their laws that, you know what we need? Anytime a chick sit and step out of line, we need to bust her in the head with a brick. Eyes have it? Let's make that a law. Okay. Bust her in the head with a brick. What else are we going to do? Cars, traffic lights, yeah. Oh, you know what else? If she ever steps out of line, cut her nose off. How many of you with it? Okay, yeah, let's do that too. I want to see what country that is. I'm curious.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to cut this debate short because we do have a lot of questions to get to. But Char, go ahead on our No Conduct page, Facebook No Conduct page. Go ahead and post your research, and we can continue this debate online. And if anyone wants to chime into the debate, whether they're siding with Char or Logic, you can chime in at No Conduct Radio on Facebook.
Thank you, listeners.
Before we go, I want to make something clear, though.
Absolutely.
I want to make something clear. I'm not lobbying to any country or any group. It's just I want people to stop regurgitating everything that they hear and thinking that that's truth, because at one point it was okay to completely disrespect black people in the country. But that was never a law. But that's what this country did countrywide. It was okay to refer to a black man as a nigger. Back in the South, they had laughing barrels on the street where a black man was not considered good enough to be able to laugh out in public. So he had to stick his head in the barrel and laugh. That was out there a lot. But that was never a part of law. So if there's some place that's in some third world country where they haven't caught up with the internet or whatever, and there's some misogynist men that in their group feel like their women should never leave the house and they should be in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant making turkey sandwiches. Yes, that happens a lot. But that is not a part of any religious doctrine to say if you dare treat your woman equally to you or whatever, that's wrong and you need to keep her under your heel. I've never heard any country or any religion say that. I just want people to be logical about some things. That's all. I don't really care about Pakistan or whatever. I have no desire to go there. I don't really care. But it's just be reasonable. Because a lot of people can look at this country and look at who we're about to have as president, Donald Trump. You know how many people judge us based on that? But is that what the whole country is about? No. We think he's an idiot. But another country would say, oh, America is so stupid. Look at them. That's all. Just don't generalize. That's all.
Well, I understand. I get what you're saying, but we're going to take this debate to Facebook. We have a lot of questions to get to. But I understand where you're coming from, Logic.
I appreciate what he's saying, but I will back. This was not a general statement. This is based on years of hearing the same stories over and over. Thank you, Kai. And Logic. Okay.
All right, first question. So the question is to the men. Do you need a wife? And this was actually, I also polled this, so I also have the poll results. But to the men, DJ and Logic, do you need a wife who can cook? If she can't cook, is that a deal breaker?
Nah, it ain't a deal breaker.
No, I don't care about that either. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's a luxury. That's like having air-conditioned seats.
I mean,
but
yeah,
not necessary.
She probably can't boil water, but, it's not a deal breaker.
Can you repeat the question from the viewers to the guys? I'm sorry.
It was asking if does a man need a woman who can cook? Is that a deal breaker if she can't cook?
Oh, it was just the one question. Okay, go ahead, guys. I'll let you finish that.
They already said no. Well, 98% of men said no. 2% said yes.
What?
I was surprised. I was actually surprised about that.
Hey, that's those
well, you know what? That sounds right though, because it seems the time that we're in is changing. So I don't think dudes really. I think men more value loyalty now than anything else. It seems like it's a commodity at this point to have a loyal woman.
That's like. Yeah.
That's a damn shame.
You know what? I don't believe that statistic. Who was that? Kai, where did this the answer that you have? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. That makes no sense.
I put out that question. Question.
But okay, so
and how the answer 98% of them said they don't care if a woman can cook. Most of the guys said they do the cooking in the house.
You know what? 98% of people, was that an American poll or just a general poll across the world? Do you know?
Actually, it was people across the world that answered, United States and everywhere else.
That's a shame that across the world is so dishonest, because if a man's in a relationship, they complain like hell. And I know we can't curse, sorry, no conduct, I apologize. But they complain like hell if that girl can't cook or won't cook. That is so not true.
No, wait.
Are you trying to tell men what they really want? Is that what you're saying right now?
Those people are not being honest, Logic. Because some of these polls, you have to wonder, were these people retarded on drugs? Where are they getting these people from? Seriously. You guys are...
Hold on. I'm not retarded or on drugs, but I personally don't care. If she doesn't know how to cook, I'll work with that. I'll get to the point where I teach her how I like my, protein shakes or whatever. Like, hey, blend it like this, put this much water.
But if you don't want to cook, that's a whole different story. That means you're just lazy or whatever.
Well, but see, that's a different thing that you're touching on, BJ. And that's a thing that some women do where, no. What you just said is the difference, like if she doesn't want to learn. Because it's not a problem that she doesn't cook, but when you are like, I don't want to learn anything because, like, let's say BJ really likes spaghetti. And he's like, okay, I understand you don't cook, but at least learn how to do this one dish that I like. And she's like, no, I'm just not cooking. Now, that's pushing into the zone of selfishness and narcissism, where you don't care how I feel about this one thing, and you refuse to do any work
to do it to
try to meet me halfway. So that's why that becomes a deal breaker, as he's pointing out.
Yeah, on that one.
But before we go on to the next question, I have one quick question for Char. Why are you so adamant that these guys are lying that they don't care if a woman can cook or not? Like, what kind of guys are you talking to?
Because I have met male and female species of the human race for many years now throughout my life, cats and dogs. And the majority of them have an issue with the women who cannot cook particularly, even more so than one that won't cook. Okay? And in a marriage, it's even worse. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying the average woman – no, wait, let me finish. I'm not saying the average man comes home with a wife beater and grabs a beer and says, women, where's my meal? I'm not saying that, but I do not believe that because food food feeds the soul, and food is part of where memories are created from and what gathers families around, and also relationships. It's something that you remember when you cook together or eat together. We all know it's an important part of our lives every 4 hours, whether we like it or not. I don't buy it because I've had too many people, men say, oh, hell yeah, my wife's a great cook, and if she wasn't, I wouldn't even be with her. If she don't cook, you know what, you better cook, whatever. There's a lot of chauvinistic men out there, too, but yet it's only 2% that said, oh, it doesn't matter. Where's all the chauvinistic men that expect their women to be in the kitchen, barefoot, pregnant, chained to the stove, cooking a hot meal? So, no, I don't believe it at all. Now, maybe times have changed a tiny bit because we're more independent now, but besides that, no. Even if a woman's working full-time, a man expects her to still cook.
Seriously. I think you've just been talking to the wrong men. I mean, I hear out of all the guys that I hang with, hold on. Out of all the guys that I hang with, I hear them say, like, they would love if a woman can cook, if their wife can cook. That'd be great. But that's not a deal breaker. Now, if that's a deal breaker to these guys, then they don't even love the woman they're with. They just love her food.
But it also matters what age group you're talking about. You know what I mean? And furthermore, these guys that you're talking, like, are they telling you this and they're in relationships?
Me or Char?
Char. Bueller.
What? I'm sorry. Can you please repeat that? Because I need to get a speaker here. Sorry. What was that again?
I said these guys that you hear complaining about that, these are dudes that are in relationships.
No, that's what I just said, Logic, and thank you for asking. What I was saying was absolutely not necessarily. Absolutely, that makes no sense. I'm sorry, it's oxymoron. I was going to say absolutely not necessarily. No, not necessarily so. These are when I said marriage.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You just gave me a politician's answer. I asked you a very simple question. These guys and just listen.
No.
These guys that say this to you, are they in a relationship?
No, Logic, not necessarily no. Sometimes, yes. Well, in some cases, yes.
Okay,
and in many cases, no.
All right, wait. Pause there. So, you have a single guy that's telling some chick, I like a girl that can cook. Or you got some guy that's in a relationship telling a chick, man, my girl don't cook and that bothers me. More than likely, he's using it as an icebreaker to get you into a conversation with you. More than likely.
But Logic, what about the men that are married, that are sharing this information?
They are cheating or hoping to cheat with you. If they're complaining about their wife to you.
No, in a relationship, Logic, they're not trying to sleep with me.
How do you know that? Because I'm going to tell you like this. This is something that I need to break. Don't talk about their relationships to anybody. They don't care. You know what I mean? They're either happy or they're not. So any dude that's talking to any woman because he's claiming she's easy to talk to, it's a lie. He's trying to get you in the stack.
Trying to smash.
Okay? Get that through your head and understand that. There's no dude that will ask for advice on his life with a woman.
That's right.
What can you tell him about being a man?
Which actually leads me to our second question. Should married people be friends with the opposite sex?
Nope. Business is business.
Char?
You know, if you're in business, that's one thing. But friends and that's my friends. Get out of here with that.
Yep. Ain't happening. Yep. Because the
magic
word. It just
okay, honestly, I'm going to say no. I wanted to say yes, but in my past experiences, it's always at the end of the day they want to get in my pants, and I always wanted to be friends.
Give her a round of applause.
Yeah.
Kai, give her a round of applause.
Yeah, get a round of applause.
This is a monumental day.
Y'all are stupid. I just want to admit that, guys. That came from a very deep, dark place inside of me. I do not want to admit that.
Okay. Gross.
Okay.
Okay.
That and the martini that I'm sipping on, that's where it came from.
No, Char, I'm right there with you. It took me years to get to that point where I was like, yeah, you're right. It took me years because I usually have male friends. That's all I have. So I'm right there with you.
I love to have male friends. I mean, you know, you can talk to them. Whatever. Girls are catty, but what do you do? It's
so
true.
Anyway,
You know what? I want to ask that question of women. Do women realize that their girlfriends don't have their best interest in mind when they are single and you're in a relationship, or dare I even dream if you're married? Do you not realize?
That's actually a show that we should do.
But they're predators.
Oh God,
that's actually a show we should do.
Fire to that ship, ain't that?
I said they're predators.
Well, let me tell you the poll on this one. So, should married people be friends with the opposite sex? 99% of people said yes. 1% said no.
Well, how many of those were women, though?
Well, how many of those were women?
However, then in another poll to break it down even further, most women said yes and men said no.
There you go. There you go.
And then to break it down even further than that, the answers to those questions to this question was, guys were saying, you know, we know guys, we know how we are. You know, you can think this guy just wants to be your friend, but we know this. I'm telling you, all the guys said that.
Yep.
Most guys said that. Let me put it that way. And most women said, no, he's just my friend, yada, yada, yada. So, all right, next question. So I'm just reading off the questions that I pulled. Then I'm actually reading off questions that people are messaging in right now. Okay, so the next question is: should women change their last name when they get married?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Char?
Okay. Can I just Logic? Don't shoot me on this. But you know, I'm always doing research. So I just read not too long ago that in Mexico there was an uproar, maybe 3 years ago. There was an uproar over the last name where a lot of the women in Mexico were given the right to not choose. The right to choose to not take their husband's last name. So they were saying a lot of the Hispanic names will end with de Jesus or de I don't know, whatever. And they said the day is the separation of this is my name before. Well, I'm just trying to think of another one. But I just imagine this, though. Imagine a country of people, at least a certain region, that are saying, I don't want to take my husband's last name because I feel like I'll lose my identity. And so that's why I choose to keep it. So that's like,
well, here's my thing. I would agree with that. I would agree with that if a woman says, I'm going to lose my identity or I have too much to lose by people not knowing that I am Angela Baker instead of
why get married?
No, wait. Hear me out.
BJ, really?
Let's say if she starts off that her maiden name is Baker, but she's going for Thomas, but she doesn't want to take Thomas because Baker is how she made her business flourish or whatever. That's fine. As long as you sign paperwork that says you're going to leave what you came with. Don't try to get any of my money. Don't try to get any of this alimony. This house, you better just pack a bag and leave if you want to keep your own last name. But if you plan on using the regular civil court situation, which is raking a man over the coals and taking half his life as you walk out that door and trading me in for some personal trainer that works at Bally's or something like that. You're gonna take my name. I'm not gonna take that risk, lose your identity.
Well, hey, she won't take that risk to lose her identity. Sign a prenup.
The answers for this poll that I put out it was inconclusive because women started taking my question to like a different level. So it wasn't a yes or no. It was just, why should we have to? Why is it a necessity? So my polls came out inconclusive. However, this question was actually on the Steve Harvey show some time ago, and most men said yes. Like an overwhelming number said yes, but most women said no.
But Kai, what if it's a really ugly name? But can I just say something? My name is Charlotte. Okay, because I go by Char whatever for stage, but Charlotte. My name is Charlotte Elizabeth, and my fiance's name is Booker. I'm going to be Charlotte Booker.
Wait a second.
I mean,
okay. Wait. Was that a hypothetical question? Or are you telling me you have a fiance?
Oh, that was very hypothetical. I don't have a fiance named Booker. I'm not.
Okay. Well, I'm about to beat your butt right here on live radio.
What's a Booker?
Okay, but you guys, seriously, I know that's
what's wrong with Char Booker?
Charlotte Booker is disgusting. That's the ugliest name I've ever heard. What if it really does affect? If you just don't like the flow of it, I mean, come on.
How ugly is Booker if it's $2.1 billion behind that name? $8. Yeah, $1 billion.
Right.
There's what? There's what behind that name? What?
If Booker is $2.1 billion flush, is his name still gross? Are you still going to hyphenate it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, listen to that laugh. Look at that.
Do you hear the crickets? Do you hear how much money coins was counting in her mind and how quickly all of that woman raised out the door when money was involved?
Hey, Elijah, it was like the Flavor Flav effect.
That's wrong, Char. You are so wrong for that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know it sounds very airheadish and very kind of like really it sounds superficial, and I know it does. But I just really think
you're a champion of feminism.
Exactly, of course. But think about it. The rest of your life, you are being represented by that person's last name, and it should mean something to both of you. But sometimes it just sounds really awkward and ugly, and maybe I just don't want it. I'm serious.
Well,
I mean,
you know what? Here's how I feel. If all your name is if all your name is known for is going out to clubs and partying, you shouldn't really care that much, should you? You know what I mean? A lot of these chicks act like they're authors.
I don't mean socially. I mean the way that it sounds to me. I don't mean going out
but again,
and
what you just said is superficial because if you love that man, all jokes aside, if you love that man, but he just has a weird last name like Studebaker or something like that. Like, what do you? If he treats you well, if every other guy has trashed you in your life, and this dude treats you like you are a diamond that he found on top of a torn mountain, and he went through everything to get to you and cultivate the relationship, why would you disrespect all of that work that he's done, all of that time and effort that he's put into you by saying, I don't like your name? Because it sounds funny.
Logic, is that really disrespectful? Charlotte Bacon doesn't sound great to me, but it's not taken away from the respect and loyalty in the relationship.
I'm gonna tell you this.
It doesn't negate anything that we've built together. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Bacon, Booker, whatever. No, it doesn't change any of our vows. No.
I think Esther is a gross name for a woman, but. If I met a girl that was good to me, nice, she was obviously, good looking, and her name was Esther. Although I wouldn't really like that name, and I probably would come up with some kind of nickname to call her or something like that, but I would not hesitate to say, oh, yes, this is my wife, Esther, such and such. I wouldn't hesitate because she's good to me. I'm not going to make her feel like crap. Because she has an unfortunate name.
Yeah,
you dig? And and that's how men are a lot more loyal than women because dudes will stick with you if you are a broke bum that works at CVS. They'll stick with you if they like you and you're good to them. Or if you have a couple of kids, you get fat and nasty and you smell like boiled bologna in the summertime. They'll still love you and be with you. You know what I mean? But as soon as a dude loses a job or something like that, that's it. It's a crap roll when it comes to you chicks.
Hit the bricks.
I can't do this anymore. It's just not the same. Really? We're in a recession. What did you think was going to happen? I just didn't know that I just have to go and there's this guy in my office. And okay. I see what it is. All right. Lacey.
Next question. So basically, Char answered the question for women. If it's with money, then there's no problem with the last name. But, it could be a deal breaker if your last name stinks. So that's her answer. Personally, I don't know. I might want to hyphenate or I might want to take the last name. I don't know.
That's Sarah McGillicuddy.
But you guys, wait a minute. I didn't say that. I would do the hyphenation if it was a money situation and we were going to, be in business together or whatever. I just wouldn't want just completely the last name because if I really don't like it, like I said, Bacon, I don't care if you have $1 million, but if you want to do my last name, Day Bacon, or
so
hyphenate
Kevin Bacon wanted to marry you, you would say no?
I would say no, he's ugly.
If Kevin, no, we're not talking about ugliness. If Kevin Baker and all of his millions of dollars came to Las Vegas Strip, good God, what's your name? Char? Oh man, what kind of a Native American girl? I need you in my life now. Kevin Bacon. You tell him hit the bricks because your last name is stupid and I don't like it.
Well, like she wouldn't. She would be Char Bacon tomorrow.
I would do Char my last name.
You would no. He said you can't hyphenate. I would prefer if you don't hyphenate. I'm telling you, she should be Char Bacon tomorrow.
That would, like I said, I can't Oh, God.
You would be Char Bacon tomorrow. Don't even lie. Don't even try that.
Listen, when I go pay a light
she
bill
would
and
be
then
on the Bacon compound and all
everywhere I go, I have to hear bacon. I'm like going to start I want to eat it all the time, okay? Bacon, and that's terrible. But if I go pay a light bill, no. Weird.
Listen,
you would want to Char Bacon all the time.
Let me tell you how she would check into the hotel and say, I am Mrs. Char Bacon.
Right.
I am checking into the presidential suite of such and such. She would not hesitate in calling herself Mrs. Bacon.
When she goes and picks up that private jet, gets on first class, goes to her personal assistant, I'm Miss Bacon.
How about that?
I bet you. Look. I bet you she wouldn't even go by Char anymore. She would be Miss Bacon. And then her license plate would probably say Miss Bacon too. So.
You know what? I'm very dramatic. So how about this? Only if I could pronounce it Bacon, then we're good.
Oh
Bacon.
God.
Oh my God.
Anyway, next question. Is sex a necessity to men or women?
Men.
A necessity as in you cannot, like, life would not be possible without it?
You can't go without it.
Yes.
I would say no.
Well, I think you suck, and I don't believe you. I say yes.
No, because here's why. If you're using that logic, then all of those dudes in prison that are raping each other, then it's totally justified because you can't go without sex, so you have to have sex with something, even if it's another man. I don't believe that. I believe you can go without sex. I believe it'll be extremely uncomfortable and very psychologically damaging, but I believe you can survive life without sex. I do believe that. Now, I think
I disagree. I do. Wow.
This is what logic
if you
gets.
was locked up, would you have to, BJ?
So if I'm locked up, I wouldn't do nothing. No, I'm sorry. But I'm out here in the world. I got to have it. I'm out here in the world. I got to have it. I'm sorry.
But see, the thing is, logic always got to take the fun out of everything. If you were locked up, would you actually have sex with another man?
No.
It's not a necessity.
Here's the thing. This goes into other things now. See, you always try to look at the fun aspect of it. My thing is, when there's a guy, and let's say he works with some oil rig company, he goes off to like Costa Rica or something for months at a time. That guy can use the logic of, I need sex. That's just a necessity for me. So he's going to have sex with all these Costa Rican chicks while he's away. Is that right that he's cheating on his wife? No, that's wrong. And then it'd be the same thing if she was cheating on him with some dude at the gym or some guy, at her job or some neighbor or something because she's saying, oh, I need sex, and he's been gone for months or two. You can go without sex. Is it extremely uncomfortable? Yes, it is. And I do believe if you love somebody, then you need to control that urge and wait for you to get back to your husband or your wife to do that. I don't believe cheating.
Oh, yeah, that part. Yeah. It's married. Yeah, if you're married. Okay, now that's.
But you got a lot of guys that cheat claim it's I got needs and I got to do what I. So they use that excuse
we have problems
like they can't control themselves.
I think I got a problem with the relationship with marriage. But let's switch this to the ladies that control the sex thing. So what's up with you guys?
Well, I'll say this. With the poll, 78% of men said they need sex. It's like breathing. And that's the funny thing is, this question was also on Steve Harvey, and they came out, I think, with the same exact number. Women said no, they don't need sex.
Because y'all controlled it.
Why do you think we control it?
What?
Women do control sex.
What? Oh God! Y'all got that famous no. What?
I disagree.
You know you control.
I disagree. I disagree.
You disagree? Really?
I disagree.
That's why you laugh. That's why you laugh.
I think if we, I think if. Is my mom listening?
Hey, whatever. You guys control it. You control it.
I was going to say, I think if I controlled sex, I would probably never leave the house.
All right, check out.
I don't control sex.
No, you're
saying that. You're saying that, but I'm gonna tell you right now. It's just like the idea of being able to, I don't know, eat chocolate and you would never have to worry about gaining weight. You think that you would be eating chocolate constantly, but after a while, you get tired of it. So you think that you would just be in the house.
For yourself.
No, I'm telling you right now, you think that you would just be running around banging constantly, but I guarantee you a week, maybe a month, if you've been very repressed throughout your life, maybe a month. But after a while, you're going to be, okay, listen, let's take a walk. Let's go get a pretzel or something. Let's go come up for air. Like, it's not all that you think it is. I'm telling you. It gets old very fast.
Sure.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, all right. Now, have you ever got a guy heated up and whatever, and he was like really got into it, and you said, oh no, now I want to wait. Let's just no rush things. And the guy go home, he's like, oh my God, all tensed up. You ever did that?
Maybe if it's someone I don't like as much. Yeah, if it's someone that I'm not into, and I'm not ready.
You're not ready, but that's control.
No, if it's not my dude, not my man. I'm saying I thought you just meant like some guy I was dating. If it was my man, I would never say no anyway.
He's saying that you have the power and the control over the sexual experience. The woman usually is the one to either say yay or nay, whether it's going to go down.
Right.
And that's the power. And because a lot of men are led by. Go ahead.
Okay, but here's the thing. It depends on what type of relationship that is, because if it's just
it doesn't matter. Listen, you're getting into semantics about who you're doing it to. It doesn't matter.
If I don't like you like that, I'm going to probably say, no, I'm not ready. But if it was my man, I won't ever deny him. So there you go.
That doesn't matter.
I just thought about this. This is completely off topic, but I was waiting the whole show. It took 57 minutes for this to happen. But I've been waiting the whole show to hear you're just going off of semantics. I think I'm going to have a ding button every time Logic says you're going into semantics here. I didn't even realize I was waiting on it.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I did not say semantics. That's not what I said.
What did you say?
She's getting into the specific person who it is. I said that's not what it's about. He's saying that women control the sexual experience. That's the power that they have, because men are after sex, and women try to act like they don't know this, but they know that they control it, so that's how they get dudes to do what they want them to do. And women have the ability to start the process of sex and then be able to yank it back. That's where he was getting into the whole term, no means no. That's a woman cry. That's not men. Men don't say no means no. Women constantly pressure men into sex all the time, but you'll never hear it because men don't have the ability to come off as a victim in that situation. People will question his manhood of why he didn't want to have sex before they would say, oh, well, you're right, you have the right not to have sex if you want. Women control it. So all of the, affairs and marriage and everything, women are controlling that process. They're not, out of the power sync when it comes to that. They control the whole process. So it doesn't matter if a dude shows up at his front door that you came to his house at 11, 12 at night. He comes to the door butt naked. You could still say, I just want to cuddle. And if anything else goes down, he's in trouble.
Yes, he is.
Okay. I guess.
Women are just unbelievable. They don't deal with reality at all.
And they don't. Oh. Oh, my God. Oh, God.
I must say that scenario was hilarious, though, butt naked, and I just want to cuddle.
You okay? I'll be like, what?
But you know what's funny? If a dude was to tell her, hey, listen, it's either you put up or you get out, they will call him all types of pigs. But if a guy did that, if he showed up at a woman's house and she's hot and bothered coming to the door in a silk negligee or something, and he's talking about, no, I just want to watch TV. If she kicked him out, they'd be like, that's right. She's taking her power back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Power nap. We all need one.
What's that?
What?
Which one was a power nap? Power nap. We all need one. It just so happened to be the inopportune time. But no, I get what you're saying. It doesn't reverse quite the same way,
Okay.
Double standard. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
Well, you taught somebody today. Next question. So this is a question that actually came in from one of our listeners. I'm having an affair with my ex. I've been married 25 years, and I think I'm in love. What should I do?
In love with who? The ex?
In love with who? The ex?
The ex.
She's not in love. She's in love with the process of what's going on because it's something new.
Yeah,
it's
something new.
Sneaky. She's not supposed to be doing it. So it's exhilarating. But if she was able to have him, she wouldn't want him.
She wouldn't want him.
She's doing it because it's, something different and she's shaking up her life. She's not in love with anything.
My marriage is boring.
I agree.
So she's just in lust, not in love?
No, it's not even love. It's something new. So it's new and it's exciting.
Yeah.
But she knows. Yeah, he is not doing anything different or whatever. It's just that, and it's exciting because she's not supposed to be doing it. So that's what she loves.
But you don't leave your husband. You don't leave your husband over an affair. That's just idiotic. Because, like Logic said, it's fresh, it's new, it's exciting, but that wears off, and then what are you left with? Your husband is someone who's probably nurtured you, supported you, been loyal, committed, to a fault for all those years, and then, and this other person could just be some gigolo that's out there just sticking it everywhere, and that girl is just infatuated because perhaps he pays a little more attention to her because it is new, and that's what, you're supposed to show your best side. Right, guys? When you first meet someone, everyone's on their best behavior. What happens after that?
Obviously, she knows this person because it's an ex.
No, my question is, I forgot. I'm sorry. Oh, my God. She's having an affair with an ex.
Let's break it down for what it is.
Okay.
This dude that she's banging doesn't have a problem with banging somebody else's wife. So how high is his morals? How much respect does he have for relationships? So if you would leave your dude for this guy, you think he wouldn't cheat on you if he doesn't have a problem with you cheating on you? Yeah, exactly. Come on now. Use your brain.
And my thing is, so many questions. You left your ex, y'all broke up, you married someone else. You've been married to this person 25 years, and you're going back to your ex. You know what? It could not necessarily be because he was better. It could have been something was going on with her ex at the time, and people settle. Let me just be completely honest.
No. Then her being impulsive and marrying some guy is what got her into this mess in the first place. So either way, she needs to stop being impulsive and just doing stuff based on how she feels at the time.
Yeah, I agree. So, listener, that was your answer. Yeah, I'm not going to ask this one. It's about being bisexual.
It's not like we haven't spoken that before.
I mean, but it doesn't have any context to this. They just don't know how to tell people about it. That's all. And it's not like I'm just going past it, but we're talking about relationships, so that's all. Do you think? Okay, I guess on a scale of 0 to 10, how much do you have to have trust in a relationship?
10. 100%. Yeah, that's the core.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Sorry, Logic. 100 was not on the scale. It was 0 to 10.
Well, Logic went above.
Oh my God. Well, 10. I agree with you. I agree with 10.
But what if something happens? What if something happens in a relationship, like one cheats on the next, and they decide to give it a go again? The trust is gone.
Just gone.
But they try to.
Well, again, that depends. Now, when this cheating and all that happens, first of all, what's your background? Are you both damaged people from damaged childhoods? Were you young or were you older? You know what I mean? Because if you're in your teens when you got together and y'all cheated on each other, you were young kids, didn't know what you were doing, wasn't probably taking anything seriously. So, but as an adult, if you're over 30 and you still bouncing from dude to dude or chick to chick, that's a personality flaw.
Yeah, that's
you gotta go. I always say, any girl that's over 30 and don't have a man and chronically doesn't have a man, something's wrong with her. She's nutty. And the same thing with a guy. It's an issue going on. Because when a dude or a girl is in their early 30s, that's family building time. And if all of that time you've been running around in relationships and in your early 30s you don't have anybody, something's wrong with you.
Like, what
One
if she's
way or
meeting,
another, male or female.
She was a career watch. She was a career.
How do we know what she? Let's look what's out there. You guys know that men can be dogs. Not all men, because I said I wouldn't generalize anymore. But can I just say this about the 1 to 10 scale, Kai? I would give it a 9. Okay, as far as the trust factor that I expect in a relationship, because everybody lies at least 1% of any day with any situation. Especially in a relationship.
No, I don't think they're talking about a guy lying and saying that he likes your omelet or something. I think they're talking about
cheating.
I hope he did like my omelet. I really hope he did.
But you're talking about you're saying everybody lies. We understand if you're talking about white lies where you don't look fat in those jeans. That's one thing. But they're talking about cheating in a relationship level trust. Like, I can trust that it doesn't matter how long I go off to work somewhere, that you're not going to be taking dude's numbers.
You can go at the house, right.
If you're bored. You know what I mean? Or the same thing with her. Like, if she's working a lot, hasn't had time for him, that he's not just going to be meeting chicks in a bar and saying, well, you haven't been paying attention to me. Like, you have to have that trust that you're not just going to do something because I won't find out.
Right, that's true. That's what we would like. That would be something to expect in a relationship. But unfortunately, in this day and time, there's a lot out there, a lot of distractions, and you have to just be strong within yourself. And you do have to have trust, and trust and loyalty go hand in hand. So there you go.
Yes, it will.
A 10 would be ideal.
Char, once again, you're going in and out. We have a couple more questions.
What's the last thing? Sorry.
I can't even trust and something goes hand in hand.
Trust and loyalty go hand in hand. I said, so what do you do? But I'm saying that, trust and loyalty go hand in hand. So it's a matter. Okay, so in any relationship, right? It's a matter of both of you really having that trust, but you can't make someone be honest, and you don't ever know the truth at the end of the day. You just have to believe and hope that if you trust that you're loyal to each other. That you can trust that person, because loyalty and trust do go hand in hand. But in today's time, there's a lot of, as I said, distractions out there, and unfortunately, it's not a perfect world. So in a perfect world, a 10 would be ideal. But in our world today, with difference of schedules, like one of you said there, I'm working 15 hours, 14 hours, whatever, and I'm coming home late, and I'm not paying attention to you, or vice versa, and you just feel like you need to get it somewhere else, or why did you come home that extra late, tonight? So it really is much harder to really develop that trust and to really have it. I think it's pretty high when you consider what we're dealing with in 2016.
Yeah, but you have to make that sacrifice to be with each other, regardless of how much y'all work. That's the thing, regardless of what time we're in. You have to make that time for each other.
Exactly.
You got to have that sacrifice. Relationship or marriage, you got to find that time. You can work 90 hours a week, whatever. Find the time for your mate, regardless.
Definitely. Especially if you're a guy dealing with a woman.
The what?
Oh, boy. And we just lost it all.
All right, so next question. But before I go on to the next question, if anyone else has questions out there that you would like to message in, you can actually give us a call at 607-203-5378. That's 607-203-5378. If you're shy, as most people seem to be, then you can definitely text your questions to 484-840-3627. That's 484-840-3627. All right, so the next question. Oh, these are two good questions. Okay, so the first question is, what if I don't want to do something kinky in bed, but my girlfriend does? What do I do?
What? Hold on. Say it again.
Stand on your own, too, and tell them no. It ain't happening.
I think they should have a conversation because...
Well, this is assuming that they had a conversation. Or did they not talk about this?
Yeah, they just...
I don't know. I'm just asking the question.
Some people have a line that they don't cross. Like, you have a self-line, I guess, that you won't go past. Everybody has their limit. So, assuming that he or she talk to their mate, like, okay, listen, we could do this, but I absolutely will not take part in this. I can't. I won't. It's not going to happen. If that person is trying to push you into that, then listen, either A, you need to get over this fantasy, or B, I got to go. Because I'm not going to sit here and have you pester me or use this as somehow I'm not giving you what you know what I mean? You're going to have to go get into that.
And be uncomfortable. Yep.
You got some sick people out there.
Stick to your guns. Hopefully she doesn't want you to do anything too bad, like, I don't know, try new...
Good Lord.
What? What was that?
Nothing. Moving right along.
Swing from the chandeliers.
In your banana suit.
All right, here's a good one. Here's a really good one. How do I break out of a toxic relationship when we have a child together?
Please don't stay for the child. If it's that toxic, don't stay for the child. You can still be the mother.
Relationship. You know what? If it's a toxic relationship to the point where you, like, even speaking to the person brings turmoil into your life, then you have to go the no contact route, unless it has something to do with the child, visitation or whatever. That should be the only time that y'all talk. If they say happy birthday or it's a beautiful day, ignore it. Don't talk. Don't do any of that. Just have it be about the kid and be very clear that this is what it's going to be from now on. I'm done with it. If they go to have the argument, hang up.
Hang up, yep. Talk about. Because they will pick an argument.
Oh, yeah. Because if they're a toxic person, they're going to keep trying to
push a button. Yeah.
Exactly. Because with toxic people, they're looking for that reaction. That's what they feed off of, that reaction.
They love to argue.
As twisted as that may be, that's what they feed off of. So for you to have that argument or to stay in that situation, you're giving them what they want, but at the same time, you're being depleted. So you got to save yourself at this point. Full of ripcord.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a couple more, but I completely forgot about this one. This one is from me personally. That's probably why I forgot about it. Why do women have a problem? Well, I'm focused on our listeners. Our listeners are our first priority. So I forget about my question, and I'm the host. I could ask you all the question whenever I want. So we're taking your relationship questions, 484-840-3627, 484-840-3627. All right, my question is, why do women like have a problem with like when a guy has a hobby? So, for instance, the main one that I see that women have problems with is if a guy plays video games. Why is it such a problem to women?
Oh, God. No way.
You know what? When you figure that out, write a book.
Tell me. Yeah, I want to know. I want to know.
I don't know. I think it's healthy for a guy to have a hobby, like play your game. Like I don't understand it.
My theory would be any woman that has an issue with her dude either playing a video game or watching sports on TV where he's just totally like, look, I'm here, I'm checked out. This is what I'm on right now. I think it has everything to do with insecurity. I don't think it has anything to do with the fact that he is playing video games. Because let's face it, there's a lot of guys that can't stay in the house. Like no matter what the situation is, they start getting antsy and like, I gotta go. And where you going? Well, my friend, he's having a. I'm gonna like it's a million and one excuses they got to get out the house. So there's women dealing with that, which obviously is worse. But I think that has everything to do with the fact that this woman is usually insecure and she needs attention constantly. So she makes it an issue playing video games, or he's watching sports, or he's always just, I don't know, watching whatever his thing is, And
then the other solution is buy her a controller.
No, my thing is, I don't want you playing with me. Find your own hobby. Get out of here. All right? I do.
Hey,
leave me alone. Unless
she can share, what game style it is, and after that, she don't like it. Just see, how you like either race game, whatever. Just see how it is. I mean, I had that problem too one time, but it is what it is.
How do we know that sometimes it's not a cop-out for spending time with that person, and it's a good reason to not have to talk to that woman, excuse me.
If you're in my house,
because they enjoy that more than being with her.
If you're in my house to see that I'm playing video games, then I'm there with you. Shut up. Sit down somewhere.
No, you're not, Logic. You're not even there in spirit. Okay? You're there in body.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. Do you hear?
Has jumped out of your body.
Hold up.
Your spirit has jumped out of your body into that television set. That's what it is.
You hear the logic that this woman is using?
You know what? All you gotta do is play Halo, and every time, and just play Halo while she's, while you smashing that. You can do that too. There you go. She'd be happy.
No.
Yeah.
You guys, seriously, I know a lot of guys that do that. Once again, this is not relationship. This is just general men. They do this to their women all the time, if they're girls, whatever. They're like, oh, don't bother me. I'm playing my games. And they could do that for like 5 hours. Don't you guys know some people really get into these games? It's almost like a whole other life. Some of these games, you can build a life inside of them.
Okay, now
let me ask you this. If a dude didn't like, he wasn't into the fact that you drank, and he wanted you, instead of drinking, to spend time with him watching TV and not drinking any alcohol, what would you say to that guy?
First of all, if I'm having a sip of wine while we're watching TV, how is that interrupting?
Listen, no, what you're doing is you're trying to make an excuse. Wait, hold on.
You're probably having a glass of Henny right next to me. That's my boo. So what's the difference? Look, we got something in common.
I asked you a very simple question. If that dude told you he wants you to stop drinking and spend time with him because when you drink, you are not there and you're not engaged, what would you tell him?
You said while I'm watching television, so I can refrain from drinking.
I am not specifically talking about TV. I'm making it very simple for you. I'm going to repeat it again.
If you drink,
if you drink and he says, I don't want you to drink because you're not here with me when you're drinking. So I want you to stop drinking and spend time with me. What would you tell him?
First of all, that's ridiculous because we're talking about something that people. No, that's ridiculous. You can't even compare that with some video game. A video game is physically taking you away from me. Logically, you're not. I'm not physically being taken away from that man if I just happen to have a sip of wine.
Next question.
All right. Look, I'm still cooking your dinner. I'm still running your bath water with milk and honey. I'm rubbing your feet and rubbing your back. And I'm having a sip of wine.
Okay. Well, there you go.
We have 3 more questions in 10 minutes. We have 3 more questions in 10 minutes. Hurry up.
Okay, go ahead.
Lord.
Go ahead. What are you going to say, DJ?
No, I was going to say, if, wait, did you meet the guy when he was he already, when you met him, was he playing games when you first met him?
That was going to be my question. Oh, my God.
Of course he was, DJ.
So he's been playing games. Why did you get that relationship? Hey, that's what he do. That's his hobby. His
why? Because she didn't have enough of a toehold to be able to say anything about his life. And once she felt like she did, that's when she started making problems for him. Dudes need to start kicking chicks out and then win. Yeah. All right, you got a problem with it? There's the door. Leave it to you.
That's true. That's true. All right. That's a control aspect. Women.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next question. Everyone, listeners, we're only answering 3 more questions because we only have 10 more minutes. So I do apologize that we can't get to all questions. But if you still want to text in your questions, you can still text it in to 484-840-3627, and we'll actually answer it on our Facebook wall, No Conduct Radio on Facebook. So if you want your question answered, of course it will be anonymous. You can still text it in to 484-840-3627. We'll put it on our Facebook, and our host will go through and answer your questions. All right, so the next question is, what should I do if my husband wants to stay in touch with other women?
What? Go to therapy.
Wow.
Okay.
Really, BJ? Go to therapy.
Take some therapy.
Well, I mean, women is ambiguous. Like, what, people of his family? Like, what are you talking about? You talking about just random?
I mean, of course, if she's asking this question, it's not family. It's women.
Oh, no. See, that goes back to that friend stuff. Like,
So, yeah, that's not going to work.
Wow. Sorry, wait. This person just messaged in. They said, actually, her husband had an affair this year with one woman he met online, and he's saying that now they could be friends, and he wants to keep in touch with her.
Oh, wow.
That's a question?
Can't reverse her back to friend status. There's no way.
Okay, all right. Let's switch what it is. You have your husband was just addicted to heroin, and he almost died and almost ruined your lives and almost sold the house, and he bounced back. Instead, he wants to keep in contact with his heroin dealer because they can be friends now. Is that a good idea?
I say yes.
That's a good idea.
Listener, I say go for it. Let us be friends with her.
Yeah.
That's my vote.
Flatline.
They're gonna make model airplanes out of needles. That's what they're gonna do.
All right, next question. So the vote was to go for it. Anyway, next question. Don't listen to us. He should not be friends with that woman. So anyway, next question. My boyfriend of 4 years says he doesn't feel the excitement as much in the bedroom anymore.
Of course, because it's been 4 years. Grow up, though.
Go on YouTube. It is your friend. Or Google.
Go on YouTube. What?
I don't know what she's talking about. But the point being, 4 years, you've been smashing each other 4 years. Yeah, it's probably going to get a little predictable. So switch it up, buy some stuff, look at some tapes, whatever you got to do. Other than that, grow up, punk.
Do something.
Wow. Well, there's your answer. Find something. It's the girl asking what she should do. So basically,
she should tell him to grow up, punk.
Yeah, get some new.
Tell him Roger said to grow up. Punk.
Lots of information on there on how to spice up and maintain your relationship. Google.com.
But here's the reason I'm saying he's a child. It's not her job to make sure that he is, you know what I mean, feeling like it's exciting. If he's feeling like the excitement is drained away, what he needs to do is be a grown man, sit down with his girl and say, listen, it's getting a little predictable. I don't know how you feel. Maybe you like the way it is, but I think I want to try some new stuff. So, you know, whenever you got time, I want to sit down. Maybe we can go online and look at this stuff and keep an open mind.
Google. That's what I just said.
All right. We have time. Listeners, we have time for one more question. We have a lot of questions coming in, but we only have time for one more question. And this one, dude, is a doozy. I apologize, but I know my panel is going to have it out on you. Sir, I swear I apologize. Okay, I'm a 25-year-old guy, and I have a crush on a teen girl. She's 16, but she looks older, and she's so mature.
Oh, no.
Let me hear the rest of that 25. He likes a 16-year-old girl. What?
She looks older and she's so mature. Is there something wrong with me?
Yes.
Pedophile. You need help.
The hell? Yeah. Go to a strip club, buddy.
Listen, first of all, it doesn't matter how grown she looks. She's 16. You know that she's underage. Wait a minute. 25. He has almost a decade on this girl. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And number two, what's wrong with your life that you can't find other 20-something-year-old girls that's into it? You know what I mean? And if
There's
you do,
no way that you have something in common with a 16-year-old. There's no way.
Right. And if there are girls that's interested in him in his 20s, but he just happens to like young teens, then that's something definitely wrong with him. He needs to go get some therapy on that one. That's not no. She's in what is that? Is that high school or junior high?
That's high school.
That's high school.
That's 10th grade, I think. 10th grade.
That's high school. Yeah, high school.
That's a sophomore in high. She has to be home by the time the lights are on.
That's crazy.
But we got to be careful some legalities in the show.
But I do actually give him props that he actually reached out to ask if he has a problem, if something's wrong with him, or instead of just like acting on it and just going with it. So basically, something's wrong with that. I don't know if you feel immature at heart, if you didn't get girlfriends or whatever in high school. Or if you have a problem talking to girls in everyday life. But definitely if you're talking to somebody who's still under 18.
And also, if he has an issue with, because I heard guys that say that they're attracted to young chicks like that because it's an innocence factor. Now,
that's
if you have an issue,
and disgusting.
Listen, that's still creepy, but dig it. If in your mind you only would feel comfortable with some girl that isn't out there like that, then find a girl that's been holding on to her virginity. And, there are groups that are into that kind of stuff where they feel, I'm going to wait for marriage. You can find people that are into that same kind of mindset that are your age and they aren't doing the same things that everybody else out here is doing. I would suggest you find that if that's the appeal. The innocent. You can find yourself an innocent girl at your age, but it's a trial action from young chicks. That's a little creepy.
All right.
That's crazy.
Well, I do want to thank everyone for their questions. If you still want to keep the conversation going online, you can message us at 484-840-3627. I do want to say a hearty welcome back to Char, and hopefully she's here to stay. Yay! Thanks for joining us.
Char.
We'll be back here again next week, Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, as we always are, right here on No Conduct Radio. Thanks for listening. Peace out, everyone.
Peace.
Have a great week, everyone. Peace out from Lavada.
Who?
Lavada.